Hi, I'm Chandler Mayo. I do developer relations at Redpanda, and today I want to talk about a term that I hear get thrown around a lot lately, agent infrastructure. Here's the thing, if you're a technical leader evaluating AI agents right now, most of what you're seeing is demos of what agents can do. But what you're almost never shown is what needs to exist underneath for agents to actually work in a real enterprise environment. So that's what this video is. I'm going to walk through the core pieces of agent infrastructure, what they are, why they matter, and I'll show you what they look like in practice. Okay, so before we jump in, let's start with reality. Your enterprise data lives everywhere. Databases, SaaS tools, data lakes, internal APIs, and even legacy systems that might have existed before your engineers were even born. So how do you give access to all that information without creating chaos, without handing over the keys to every system, and critically, when something goes wrong with your agent, how do you figure out what happened? That's really what agent infrastructure is solving. It's a layer that sits between your agents and the data. It answers three questions. What can this agent access? How does it interact with tools? And what did it actually do? All right, let me show you what some of this actually looks like. Today, I'm going to use Redpanda because it's what I use every day. But these are patterns you should look for regardless of what agentic platform you're evaluating. So first is knowledge bases. This is how your agents get context. And I don't mean a PDF that you uploaded to a chatbot. I mean live connections to real systems, Git repos, your Jira, even Google Drive, whatever your organization runs on. The agent should be able to query and retrieve from these in a structured way, which means that it's working with real, current data instead of just stale training data. MCP is quickly becoming the open standard for giving agents the ability to discover and use tools. What you're looking at here is a managed MCP server, which is basically a way to define tools as pipelines that run inside your infrastructure. The reason this matters is reusability and security. Instead of every team wiring up their own integrations, you do it once, you host them centrally, and any authorized agent can now use them. And the last piece, and I think this is the most important, is transcripts or an audit trail. And I think this probably matters the most for anyone in a leadership role. This is a full record of everything an agent did during a session. Every tool it called, every piece of context it pulled, every decision it made. Because without that piece, you're deploying autonomous agents that can read and write enterprise data. And you have no way to audit that, no way to debug it, and no way to explain that to a regulator or to a customer. Transcripts turn a black box into something that you can actually trust. That's it. That's what agent infrastructure actually looks like. And I hope this was helpful at actually cutting through some of the noise. If you want to learn more about building with agents, make sure you follow, subscribe. We're posting a lot more content very soon.